configuradores.
Esattamente, questa è la pagina di login. Se non l'avete già visto, per trovare il configuratore si va sul sito Salice, ok?
Questa è la página quando usted habla, quando abren.
Sì. Aspetta un attimo che lo metto in spagnolo. E qui, configuradores, ok? Cliccando qui vi rimanda alla pagina di login.
Okay.
La prima volta che ovviamente qualcuno fa il login deve registrarsi.
La primera vez, sì, chiaramente, come dice Francesco, tiene che
gratuito,
registrarsi.
Gratuito, molto semplice, e l'importante è che una volta che si è registrato riceveranno una email di conferma. È importante che l'accettino perché sennò non possono entrare.
Claro, una vez que usted se registra, van a recibir dentro de pocos minutos un email de Bortoluzzi que tienen que aceptar. Si usted simplemente la miran y no acepta l'email, non podrán tener acceso al configurador. Quindi esto es importante tenerlo claro para no tener...
Ok? Quindi una volta inseriti nome e password, login, e questa è la pagina principale che vedranno i vostri clienti. Man mano questi sono i prodotti configurabili, ok? E ovviamente man mano adesso l'obiettivo è aggiungere tutta la linea Salice all'interno del configuratore.
Sí, sí, esto es un configurador que claramente...
¿Lo escuchamos por mi parlante mejor?
Hola, discúlpame. ¿Quién ha hablado?
No, disculpa, se me quedó el micrófono abierto, mil disculpas.
Ah, ok, no, tranquilo, tranquilo. Claramente este configurador, col pasar del tiempo, se va a enriquecer de otro producto. En este momento tenemos Excedra Gravity, Excedra 2, tenemos el sistema de pared modular Luxer y tenemos toda la línea Accessories, que son todos los complementos internos para los armarios de alto nivel. Quindi, son 4 secciones diferentes. Claramente, hoy día nosotros miramos la sección más importante para ustedes, que es la sección para el sistema Excedra Gravity, y después miraremos para el sistema Excedra 2 de doble puerta. Después la otra, en relación un poco al interés que cada uno de ustedes en su propio país tiene, podremos hacer una sección diferente de training. Pero en este momento, si no, sería demasiado largo la sección. Nosotros nos vamos a concentrarnos solamente en el configurador Excedra Gravity y Excedra 2. ¿Ok?
Perfetto. Come ha detto Claudio, questo una volta si seleziona il prodotto cliccando sull'icona, okay, e si apre un'altra pagina. Evitate sempre la traduzione automatica di Google perché crea un po' di confusione.
Sí, es siempre mejor no hacer la traducción de Google. Es mejor entrar siempre
qui ci sono due campi, la referenza del cliente e la referenza del progetto. Sono utili, poi dopo vi mostrerò come cercare i progetti che avete fatto. Okay, quindi qui mettete sempre qualcosa per trovare
es mejor, siempre está diciendo Francesco, es mejor siempre llenar estos 2 puntos porque le sirve después como búsqueda cuando tiene que buscar el proyecto que están haciendo. Así que en este caso,
questo caso
ha puesto cliente A, proyecto A, nosotros empezamos da Excedra Gravity, ¿correcto, Francesco?
Sì, adesso partiamo dall'Excedra Gravity, selezionando qui, ok?
Sempre se clicca.
Una volta selezionato Excedra Gravity mi chiede se voglio fare una singola porta, una doppia porta, quindi che si aprono sul del mobile, oppure una doppia porta che si aprono e poi si ritraggono nel centro del mobile.
Sì. Quindi tre possibilità: la puerta che entra nel centro del mueble come la tercera, nella seconda un mueble che tiene dos sistemas, uno che si apre alla derecha, uno che si apre alla izquierda, o una colonna singola.
Ok, facciamo quello doppio che è il caso forse un po' più comune.
Nosotros vamos a hacer el caso doble. Si después, Pilar, tú tienes algún ejemplo diferente, después cuando terminamos esto lo podemos mirar, ¿ok?
Listo.
Ok, quindi poi si preme la freccia per andare avanti.
Sí, siempre la flecha tiene que clicarse, si no, no se sale. Acá.
Qui abbiamo, come si dice, i primi dati. Allora, essendo che abbiamo colonna sinistra e colonna destra, la prima cosa che vi faccio notare è che i dati sono sincronizzati tra le due, perché di solito sono uguali. Ok,
Sí,
quindi
los datos son sincronizados, porque normalmente las dos columnas tienen la misma medida. Difícilmente que una columna tiene, no sé, 60 de ancho y la otra 70, si no sería estéticamente un poco fea. Así que el configurador se sincroniza también por la parte izquierda. Quindi nosotros ahora miramos la parte izquierda.
adesso andiamo a modificare quelli a sinistra. Ok. La prima cosa che ci chiede è se il pannello dove viene montato il meccanismo è sollevato da terra oppure appoggia la terra.
El panel lateral, que sería el costado del mueble, se apoya en el piso o no, porque tiene uno zócalo, tiene algo. En este caso, el lateral al suelo, ¿giusto?
Facciamo,
Francesco?
sì. Qui facciamo al suolo che
Al suelo, sì.
Cambia. E poi se il meccanismo, essendo che Gravity adesso ce l'abbiamo in due versioni, se è la versione in, quindi la spingo e rientra da sola, o out, la premo e esce. Facciamo la in.
La in.
La sormonto la direzione tipo sulla superposizione sempre interna, non c'è una scelta, perché le cerniere del Gravity sono sempre interne.
Ok.
Sormonto sul fianco.
Sì, sì, e quanto solappa. Il sormonto in italiano sería quanto solappa la puerta.
È sempre luce.
È sempre in luce. Ok.
Quindi andiamo avanti. La prima cosa che ci chiede sono le altezze. Ok? Partendo dall'altezza della porta. Ok? Quando non sapete che dato vi chiede, ci sono queste piccole lenti di ingrandimento che se io le clicco mi evidenzia quale dato sto scrivendo.
Sí, si usted no sabe qué es AC, FT o T, tiene que clicar sobre esta lente que usted ven acá, está al lado izquierdo, clicando, ustedes ven en la parte, ¿hay clicado?
Sì, per esempio
Sí.
TH.
Okay. ¿Ves? TH, usted, así que saben exactamente la medida que van a introducir de qué es.
Ok, facciamo un'altezza di porta normale, diciamo.
Acá te pone la altura mínima y la altura máxima, así que con este sistema no es que pueda ser 4 metros, máximo es 3 metros e l'altura minima è 1100.
Sì, esatto, il configuratore blocca dati che non hanno senso. Quindi...
Si bloquea, se usted pone una referencia que no se puede hacer, lo bloquea.
Siamo 19 di spessore della porta.
Sì, 19 è l'espessore della puerta.
AC è quanto spazio c'è tra il sopra dell'anta e il sopra del mobile. Infatti vedete la distanza.
L'espazio che cubre la puerta sobre il techo o sobre la base.
Lasciamo 3 mm di aria. AB è la stessa cosa, ma...
En la parte de abajo.
abbiamo 80 di piedino e lo spessore della base, questo sono lo spessore dei pannelli,
Lo spessore del pannello, sì.
mettiamo tutto 19 che è abbastanza comune.
Ecco, una cosa io spiegherei in questo punto, Francesco, che viene chiesta spesso. Se io ho la porta che arriva fino a pavimento, ok? Perché
Sì.
il mobile è interno con lo zoccolo, cosa devono fare? Allora, le sto
Allora.
dicendo a Francesco, se la puerta
Arriva fino a
hasta el piso, ¿por qué? Porque el mueble, la puerta sirve simplemente para cubrir el mueble, pero el mueble es en el interior con uno zócalo. ¿Qué tenéis que hacer? Porque esta es una pregunta que a veces los clientes hacen. Ovvero la puerta que usted ve, que en este momento le ha puesto 2200, usted la ve dibujada de esta manera. Pero si esta puerta fuera hacia el piso, ¿cómo son los parámetros que tiene que introducir? Mi hai capito,
allora,
Francesco?
Sì, questo dipende un po'. Allora, se abbiamo il fianco a terra, come abbiamo messo adesso, noi
Si
possiamo
tenemos el
anche...
lateral al piso como donde se pone el mecanismo como hemos decidido,
Noi possiamo mettere anche 0 di piedino, 0 di base, ok? E semplicemente questa è l'altezza. Però se questo valore si influenza l'altezza massima, allora bisogna usare AB. Adesso io ho messo 3, ma mi sa se mi lascia però è un po' poco. Di solito raccomandiamo di lasciare almeno 5 mm. Ok?
la parte de arriba, sí. En el caso que pero sea una puerta muy alta. Se una puerta de uno estándar normal, él ha puesto 0 en la parte,
Sì, fatto come se
identifica SPB, quello lì, faglielo vedere.
sia la base che il piedino lo metto a 0.
Sì. Ha puesto 0.
Questo, in modo tale che qui sia 0. Se invece mettiamo comunque una base, un piedino da 80 e una base da, come si dice, 19 di nuovo,
Sì.
per andare sotto dovrò mettere un valore negativo, quindi in questo caso tipo meno 75, e allora adesso il disegno non cambia, però la distanza da terra dell'anta è 5 mm
Okay,
e un piedino rimane
dibujo,
80.
se io pongo 75, el dibujo non cambia, però considerando che abajo siempre tengo que tener por lo menos una luz de 5 milímetros, le pongo un numero negativo meno 75 con un piede 80. Se fuera 100 le pondría 95.
Esatto.
Siempre tengo que pensar a dejar 5 milímetros para el movimiento, ¿ok? ¿Por qué 5 milímetros? Porque yo puedo tener después una alfombra, puedo tener cualquier cosa y no tengo que tener problemas de movimiento en el momento que abro la puerta. Por esto que se ha pensado de dejar un parámetro de 5 milímetros.
Ok. Vabbè, torniamo al caso di prima, 5, la situazione un po' più normale, poi come si chiama? Al limite se ci sono dubbi torniamo indietro. Compilato tutti questi, si va a chiedere le larghezze. Okay.
Ora miriamo il lancio.
Esatto. Il configuratore può partire da 3 punti, ovvero se sapete la larghezza totale del mobile, ok?
Allora, si ustedes saben el ancho total del mueble, ¿por qué? Porque tienen una medida fija que tienen que respetar.
Si seleziona il primo. Altrimenti, se sapete quant'è l'interno del mobile con la seconda, ok? Perché magari dite all'interno ho dei moduli larghi 60 e ne ho 2, quindi so che ho 120, ma non so bene l'esterno, allora questo è quello che devo selezionare. altrimenti si parte dalla porta, dalla larghezza della porta.
O si no, l'ultimo se empieza con el ancho de la puerta. Quindi l'ultimo è l'ancho della puerta, l'intermedio se io tengo il valore interno del mueble, ok? Mientras el primero se yo tengo el espacio correcto, donde yo voy a trabajar con el mueble.
Ora, partiamo magari, di solito si sa quanto si vuole occupare, quindi facciamo un esempio con l'esterno. Ok, mi chiede la larghezza totale del mobile, facciamo 1200, e lo spessore dei pannelli, ok, di tutti i pannelli in un colpo solo, mettiamo 19.
L'ancho del mueble hemos puesto 1200, el espesor de los paneles siempre 19 milímetros, que puede ser 19, 18, 15, lo que sea, però in questo caso hemos puesto 19.
E questo è il risultato. Lui dal 1200 e lo spessore dei pannelli mi dà già tutte le altre misure. Quindi io so che questo mobile sarà largo 1014 di larghezza interna. Scusate. Ok? Se poi voglio cambiare qualche valore, posso sempre modificarlo qua sotto, posso modificare i singoli spessori in questa nella schermata qui sotto.
Quindi potremmo modificare
Lo spessore dei pannelli, cioè è sempre modificabile, non è che una volta scritto 19 è per forza 19.
Sì,
Anzi,
nel sentido, se io voglio scrivere 19 e lo quiero modificar, puedo intervenire nella modificazione sin problema.
Anzi, se voglio, questo per esempio è lo spessore del pannello esterno di copertura, ok? Quindi se per caso non ce l'ho, non lo voglio mettere per una qualsiasi ragione, in
Io
questo
non
caso
quiero poner el panel externo porque, no sé, tengo un mueble, tengo una pared, lo que sea.
posso eliminarlo premendo questo tasto. Qui me lo pone a 0, quindi non verrà considerato nei disegni, no?
Yo lo
Nei
puedo
disegni.
eliminar, ¿ves? Ha clicado para eliminarlo, así que cuando ustedes van a imprimir los dibujos, non verrà nel panel esterno.
Esatto, adesso lo rimettiamo e lo mettiamo 19. Ok. Poi qui ci chiede la profondità del fianco, ok?
La
È la
profondità
profondità
del
del
laterale.
fianco dove viene montato il meccanismo, ok?
Sí,
Quindi tecnicamente
importante es la profundidad del lateral donde se va a montar después el mecanismo, ovvero non è il laterale esterno, ma esattamente il lateral del mueble donde se va a montare il meccanismo.
ok. E in questo caso, vabbè, andiamo a mettere per il momento 600, che è un valore abbastanza normale. Ok, quindi mi metto 600 di profondità. Qua sotto RC1, RC2, se il fianco esterno avanza rispetto alla porta chiusa. Di solito è sempre 0, ma nel caso potete mettere, come si chiama, 2-3 mm. Okay.
Direi, Francesco, magari facciamo una cosa, parla in inglese.
In inglese? Ok.
Sì, sì, io poi intervengo io in certe cose.
Okay, I will speak in English. Claudio asked me to speak in English. Okay, so RC1 or RC2. Okay, these two values appear. Okay, they determine if the side panel is more forward than the closed door. Okay, usually it's 0, so you can leave it at 0. But if for some reason you want the side panel to be more forward, you can input here in RC1 and RC2. Okay. The other then we have ML1, ML2. Okay. These are more important. These determines the protrusion of the door, okay, when the door is inside the pocket. Okay, so here it gives you a minimum value. Minimum value here. For example, if I write 107, okay, il valore minimo, okay, 83 millimeters. This is given by the depth of the side panel that we inputted before, and the width of the door. Okay, so if the width of the door and the depth are the same, you will find yourself always with 107. For example, if I here write 576, you see that the minimum, okay, value is 107. Okay, so same width, depth and width, 107. If you have more depth than width, then you can go, you can reduce this value right here. Usually, this depends a little. If you are using an in mechanism, okay, an external gravity in, so the one that you push the door and the door goes into the pocket by itself, I would say never go less than 50 millimeters, because you need a little bit of door to grab it and pull it out of the pocket. Okay. Instead, if you're using an out system, external gravity out, well, gravity out, you push the door and it comes out by itself. So with external gravity out, here, if it lets you, you could go down to 0. Okay, and be flush with the front of the cabinet. Is it clear at this point? If okay, if you have any question, please let me know. So, for example, I do an example here. Okay, if I go 700, you see that it says, okay, your minimum value can be 0. Okay, so no protrusion of the door. Still, I would suggest you to do it only without mechanism, not with the in version. Okay, otherwise you cannot grab the door. That's the only problem. Okay, so let's write here 107 for now, and then we have all the width written here. Okay, we can go forward using the arrow on the side. When you click on the arrow here, it asks you the weight of the door. Okay, if you don't know it, you can click here. Okay, it opens this page right here. You can select a material. We give you 4 very common material with their metric cubic weight. Okay, let's say that you use chipboard. Okay, and it calculates by itself the weight, and it says, okay, you can use 3 hinges up to 18 kilograms. Now, how many hinges and how many hinges you have to use? Obviously, if the door is actually very light, okay, you can go with 3 in this case. But since the door is quite tall, 2.20 meters is beginning to be tall, I would go with 4, just to keep the door more straight. Okay, because the panel usually bends a little. So if you use 4 hinges, it helps you keep the door straight. Okay. Or you can go with the suggested weight. Also, if you know that you do go with the MDF, for example, the weight increases no, in any case. Okay. So let's say that we go here, say 32. Okay. There can be cases, we will see later, that even if he lets you select more hinges, for example, you input 22, okay, and 4 hinges, up to 24 kilos. There are some cases where you select 5 hinges, but the weight here remains 24 kilos, okay? This happens when the mechanism is short, the door is quite short, because the weight of the maximum of the door, okay, is determined not only by the number of hinges, but also by the length of the profile of the mechanism, okay, the one that runs into the inclined profiles. So if that profile is too short, it cannot carry much weight. So that's why sometimes, even if you increase the number of hinges, you don't see an increase in maximum weight. Okay, I will show it to later what I mean. But for now, this is a very common case. You go with 4 hinges just to keep the door straight. Okay, then you click forward. Here it asks you the color of your structure. So if it's, well, not really the structure, but more the hinges color, the front cover color, okay, if you want it dark, white, or in nickel. Okay, let's go with dark. This is very on trend. Okay, as you can see, the front cover here, if I click on the question mark, it selected the black one. Okay. And while down here is the side panel connection. Okay, connect the main panel where the mechanism is to the side panel, and you can choose any model that you might have in stock. Okay, so these are the new one, universal. Okay, if you click, sorry, if you click universal, is the new one, the smaller one, okay, that occupies only 5.5 millimeters up and down. Okay, same thing here for the 110. Otherwise, you have the let's call them the old one, the one that were present even with Exidra, okay, that occupies a little more space, but are suitable even for door of 30 millimeter thickness. Okay, you just whatever side panel connection you have, or you can also say that you don't need it because maybe you keep the 55 millimeter some other way. Okay, so here you select the side panel connection. All clear? Everything's clear for everybody? Okay. Go forward. Here we select the type of hinges. Okay, if it's push or smooth. Smooth is soft close. Okay, so the Salice terms for soft close. Let's go with smooth on both. And it's already selected titanium because I selected a dark color for my cabinet. These additional rollers are used only when you have a frame door, okay, aluminium or wood frame doors, because they help keep the door straight by running on the profile, upper and lower profile of the door. Okay, they keep the door straight, but you select them only if you have a frame door. For all the other standard type of doors, we already have 2 rollers installed on the mechanism, more in the center. Okay, But since the standard one more in the center don't work with the train doors, that's why we have this optional. Okay. We do a standard door, no. Okay, we are at the end of the configuration. Here you can see a zoom, okay, just to check all the information that you brought into the configurator, just to check that everything is as you want it, okay. If everything is correct, you can select how you want to receive them. Okay, so if you have mechanism in stock, okay, if you bought from us standard mechanism, the first selection, you can see the code, is the correct one, okay. Then again, this one is something that we are testing. You will not see this code. The last one, this one with the square here, okay, is custom made. There are cases where maybe one of your customer wants a lot of the same mechanism because they have a contract for maybe an hotel or something like that, and they have to do all the same mechanism in large numbers. Okay, if you select custom made, it will tell you, okay, that el pedido mínimo es 10 unidades. Okay, 10 pieces minimum if you want them custom made from us. Okay, that we have 4 weeks of production plus shipping and all the rest. So this is only for special cases. If you have them in stock, select the first field here. Okay, and then you click here. Okay, on this cog right here, and the configurator will start processing the PDF files and all the drawings that you need to cut and assemble the mechanism. Okay. Also the drawings to for the drillings on the cabinet. One minute. Okay, here below you will already see the codes that you need to make this configuration. Okay, these, since we select them the standard mechanism, are all standard codes that you might have already in your stock if you bought them from us. Up here on the left, you can receive the PDF files or step and DWG files, okay, 3D step, okay. So the PDF can be downloaded directly because they are very light. So if I click here, okay, it will start the download, okay, and I will show you in a minute what's inside. For the CAD drawings, okay, 3D step and DWG, you have to select here and then click enviar email. Okay, why we do this? Because to prepare the 3D step, our server takes like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so not to leave you hanging here waiting. Okay, you will receive an email to download the CAD files once they are ready, okay, to the email that you write here. Okay, normally the email here is the one that you have registered with. But if you want to send all the drawings directly to your customer, just to have them check the drawings, you can write here another email, whatever email. Okay, you write here the email of your customer, and then you click enviar email. Okay, so in 5 to 10 minutes, I will receive on this account an email to download everything. Okay. Here, well, I have an administrator account, so I don't have a price list connected, but we can connect to the account that you want. Okay. The price list. So you can click here and obtain directly the prices of this code. Okay, the prices from us to you. Okay, not directly to your customer. So it's something that you have to tell us which account must have the price list connected, and then you can have this button habilitated. If your customer log in and they make a configuration and they arrive here, they will see nothing here, okay? So they cannot obtain any prices. Only who has the price list connected to their account can see this button. I see a raised hand. Maybe I'm correct. Right, Christian? Do you have a question?
Una consulta. Si yo tengo una puerta de 60 y la profundidad de mi mueble es de 60, yo tengo una salida mínima de 107 milímetros.
Sí.
¿Cuál es la profundidad mínima que yo podría tener en el mueble si es que mi puerta es de 60? Obviamente va a cambiar los 107 milímetros, pero me imagino que yo debo tener un rango mínimo de profundidad de mueble para poder utilizar el Gravity con una puerta de 60, que creo que es lo más lógico, la mínima que se podría utilizar.
Gravity out.
Sí, Gravity out.
Gravity out and gravity in, it doesn't change much in this regard. Okay, so we have, I will show you later if I find it, a graphic, but usually the minimum depth that you can do is 300, okay? 300 millimeter is the bare minimum, yeah, 30 centimeters.
¿Y qué profundidad de salida tiene la puerta? Con 300.
Well,
¿Estaríamos hablando de 40 milímetros?
40 centímetros.
Perdón, 40 centímetros? 400 milímetros?
So the formula to find the protrusion, okay, is the door width plus 107 minus the depth. Okay, so with that one you can find your protrusion without. So that's the formula that follows the configurator. There are some exceptions if you go with doors that are very short, because on the short end you need a specific amount of depth to make it work for the incline profile. But those are limit case, like below 1.40 m door height. You will see that this rule is not linear anymore, but these are very limited cases. Okay, so if you have a standard door, for example, 2.20 m, the minimum is 300 millimeter of depth. Then the wider the door, the greater the protrusion. Is it clear? Okay. I can show you here, if we go back. Yeah. So here we said that we have a door that is, well, let's start with the door. So I put 600 for my width of the door. Okay. If I place 600 here, as I said before, is 107. And you see that it tells me that the minimum depth is 300. Okay. It is all the limits are written here. If I, for example, go very low here, I think that so is the minimum, sorry, is always 300. But if I, for example, write 1 meter and 10, you will see that here, okay, minimum is 407. It will use, even if I wrote 600, okay, it will only use 300, because when the door is so small, I cannot use more than 300 millimeter of depth. So these, when you go very low with the door, these are the limits, okay? There are some cases where the rules that I gave you before the formula is not linear anymore, okay? So here you can use only 300 millimeter of
Claro, es
depth.
lo que te decía que sale bastantísimo la puerta.
Okay, is it clear this? Okay. But as you can see, all the minimum value are always written right below the field that you are going to compile. So, and in any case, if you find some cases where you cannot find a solution for your case, try write an email to us so that we can help you. Because once you start a configuration, okay, you will see that up here, okay, it gives you access, okay, and a number. This is the it identifies the project, okay, for us. So if you write us an email and you say, okay, we have a problem with configuration 15.34.2, okay, we can go in and check and help you directly on the configuration that you made, okay, if you have any problem. Okay, going forward, I'll go back here. Let's go again with 2000. Okay. I conclude very quickly, then I show you another thing. Okay, so before, when we finished the configuration, I downloaded a zip file, okay, if my computer collaborates, okay, open a zip file from which I downloaded this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me know. Do you see the zip files? No?
No.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so now you should see it, okay. You receive a zip file, just like this one, okay, with the number of the project, and these are only the PDF, okay, not the the acceptance and CAD files. These inside here you find an Excel file with all the codes that you need to order to make this project possible, okay, or that your customer needs to order from you, okay. Then you find the file, yeah, okay, the file with all the measures that you inputted into the configurator, okay, and all the workings that you have to do on the side panel, okay, and on the in the other file, you can, and also sistema is the PDF file with all the dimension to cut the profiles. Okay, cut the profiles and then place all the hardware on it. Okay, so here you can see where to place the upper carriage, lower carriage, soft close dampers, the transmission in the middle, the support for the hinges. Okay, just like the old Excedra, but in this case, it's the configurator that gives you the drawings already done and ready to use. Okay. Okay. So we go out. Okay. So you have your project. Okay, you're done. When you will have the price list connected, you will be able to press on the button of Obtener Precios, okay, and it will download all the same thing, but in the Excel file, you will also see the prices from us to you, okay. Then, what if one of your customers, okay, because anybody can register into the configurator, okay, if he finds the configurator. What if one of your customers makes a project, okay, and then he asks you for a price, okay. You don't have to make a new project identical to theirs, okay, and then find the price. To find their project, what they have to give you is this file right here, okay, the summary file. Inside the summary, you will find the configuration number and their ED number, okay. With these two informations, you can go on the configurator, sorry, wrong button, on the configurator again, and up here, okay, there's the configuration list. So in here, usually you see only your projects, but with configuration number and ED number, okay, if I write AXS AXS 15342 ED number 2, I do search and it finds me this project right here. Okay, so with these two information from your customer, you can find their project and then clicking on the three dots right here, okay, you can check the project, make a copy, duplicate the project, change it if you need to intervene directly, okay, if you want to change anything on that project, you can, and then you can click here and obtain the prices for their project. Okay, and you will obtain an Excel file with all the prices. Once again, these will be prices from us to you. We can place a multiplicator, okay, so that you can see a price that you will make to your customer, or at least a price from which you can start to make an offer to your customer. But we will see better this with Claudio once you see how you want to work with the price list. In any case, once you ask for a quote, okay, and you receive the quote, the project will be blocked, okay, and only you and, well, us from Bortoluzzi can unlock the project. We lock the project because this way it doesn't change, the customer cannot change it while you are making an offer, okay, because maybe they change it so much that that offer is not available anymore. So if they want to change anything, they have to ask to you to unlock it, or to us to unlock it, okay, and then you can make a new offer later after he modifies the project, okay. This is only to be safe and sound, that they don't change anything the last minute and the offer is no more relevant after they're changing. Okay, everything's clear until now? Ok.
Yes.
Claudio, non so se vuoi aggiungere qualcosa te. Sei mutato, quindi...
No, direi che hai detto più che sufficiente.
Okay.
Abbiamo aggiunto. Anzi, adesso direi andiamo sul resto.
Sì. Then, all... Click the wrong button, sorry. So, all the rest is very similar, okay? So, if you configure any other project, you will find more or less the same thing. Step by step, it will guide you to the configuration, asking all the relevant measure, okay, needed to make the configuration. And it will tell you when you make any mistake, or you by accident input a value that is that it doesn't make sense, okay? So you will see now, we will make very quickly a configuration for Exidua 2. You will see that it is very, very similar to Exidua Gravity. So here, like before, we place the name of our customer and our project, okay, and then we select Exidua 2. In this case, it asks me if I want a single Exidua, so 2 bifold doors that go into the pocket, or double Exidua, okay, 4 doors, 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Let's go with double. Okay, here, as before, the 2 sides are symmetrical. So we go here. You can change the type of mechanism from star, so with the front cover here, okay, star version, or smart version with the 2 symmetrical doors. Okay, let's go with smart, more common on the kitchen. Okay, side panel, if it's suspended, well, let me change to, I cannot change to Spanish, but you can follow me anyway. If the side panel where the mechanism is on the ground, just like it's gravity or suspended, let's go to the ground. And the last one type is how you want to receive this extruder tool. So manual extraction, you pull the mechanism and the mechanism open and closes. Manual extraction with electrical push to open. I press on the door, and after 2 seconds, the door exits 50 millimeters from the side. I grab the door and I complete the movement by hand. Fully motorized. You might have seen it or some videos from our fairs. Okay, so we have a remote control or a touch sensor. I touch the sensor and the doors move automatically, full movement done with motors. Okay, or manual extraction with mechanical push, just like electric push, but this is mechanical. So there's like a spring. I push the door jumps out 50 millimeters, sorry, 50 millimeters. I grab the door and I complete the movement. Okay, so let's go with the standard one for now. Okay, I go forward. Overlapping. Yeah, I missed. Here I can make the overlap on the side panel to be inset or in overlay. Let's go with overlay, so we cover the external side panel. Okay, just like gravity, it asks me the height of the door. Let's make 2.6 and the thickness. Now, be careful because, well, for now, Exidra 2, they will come only custom made by us. And the thickness of the door determines which hinges, middle hinges, we will give you in the kit that we sell you. Okay, if you change the thickness of the door thickness after we started production, please tell us, because we might have to change part of the hardware to fit your new thickness. Okay, but this is something that happens only if you confirm the order, we started production, and then for some reason you or your customer wants to change the door thickness. Just tell us, because if you change it without telling us, you will receive a mechanism that is not correct for your door thickness. Okay, so in any case, door thickness, and then just like before, AB, this time only at the bottom. Okay, this measure only at the bottom, because in the top part, the door always goes over the side, the top panel by 50 millimeters. Okay, so we do not ask this in the top, only at the bottom with a 0.2. Okay, so let's say that I go 0 for now, 50, and then the panel, top and bottom panel, 90 millimeters. Now, the minimum height from the floor for Exidra 2 is 25 millimeters. So in this case, if I have like this, I need to make, if I want 25 millimeters, minus 25. Okay, so I go down from the base by 25, and I have 25 millimeters. If for some reason you don't have anything at the bottom, I know that I need to modify. If I, for some reason, don't have the base and the feet, because sometimes there are only two sides, the top panel, and then inside is empty, you go in with some modules, or you want to make a passage, okay, so you don't have the base or the feet at the bottom, you can write fit 0, SPB 0, and you control the height from the floor with AB. Okay, you see that AB, it influences now the height from the floor. But if I write something less than 25 millimeters in this case, it will give me a warning. You cannot go lower than 25 millimeters. Okay, between the door and the door and the floor. Okay, so we stay with 25 millimeters. Okay, So you have the minimum height from the floor. Don't mind this. These are not something for you. Okay, so these are all the things in height that it will ask. Then again, just like zero gravity, it will ask you where to start for the width of the cabinet. Most of the time, Excedatur is done to fit inside a niche or something like that. So in this case, we can go with external value. Okay, and I know that I want to cover 2 meters in width, total width. Okay, you see that the minimum here in width is 1 meter and 80, pretty much, up to 3 meter and 40 total width. Okay, thickness of the structure panel, we go once again with 19. And as you can see, it's just like zero gravity. Here you can change your overlap on the side panel. Let's say that you don't want the full overlap. You put 16 here. Okay, so I leave 3 millimeters of space on the side, and all the value change directly as I change it. Here, the depth is already calculated, and it will give you the minimum. The bare minimum that you need in this case is 600 millimeter, 604 millimeter. Okay. Zero gravity is more rigid on this. Excedatur, sorry, is rigid in this regard. You cannot go lower than this. Okay, because that's the minimum that the mechanism needs to work. You can go over if you want, okay, just to have, but as you can see, this does not change the protrusion of the door. The protrusion of the door here changes only slightly when I change the overlap of the door, okay, but not by much, as you can see, okay. So the depth here, it doesn't really influence the protrusion. But you have still to write the correct number to receive the drawings, realistic drawings. Okay. So here I go forward. Any question here about this? No? Okay. Okay. So going forward, it tells me that the maximum weight for the single door is 25, so 50 for the pocket. Once again, color of the structure. These are covers for the frame. Okay, well, on this picture you cannot really see it, but they go onto the frame of the mechanism just to cover the silver part. If you select them in titanium. If your customer wants them, you can paint them. It's aluminium. Or if they want them a particular color, you can paint them. But otherwise, this is all black. And then here, as you can see now, you can sell it only custom made. So you select this, you go forward, and then you will have to set us the number of the configuration and production time as usual, plus shipping. So it's not something that usually you have in stock. There are some customers that buy always the same measure, and they made them their standard, okay, for their customers. But this is something that is up to you how you want to sell it. Okay. Any question about Excedatur? You saw this is the same thing as gravity. Step by step, you fill in all the details, we mention your cabinet, and at the end you have your PDF or CAD files to work with. Okay. So, what else? So what we can do is you can make your own account, okay, on the configurator. Then you can send an email to me and Cloud Studio with the email that you use to create the account. And you tell us if you want on any of those accounts, if you want prices connected. Okay. So you can directly see prices for auxiliary accessories and so on. And in time, all of those will add to the configurator.
No. Sí, perfecto. No, yo pienso que menos si usted tiene alguna pregunta específica, por alguna que me han hecho, lo podemos ver. Si no, yo diría que más adelante, con la configuración estamos hablando de modificaciones, podemos hacer también un training sobre el tema del CR y también de la accessories. Por ahora ya sé que algunos de era más importante el tema del Gravity, así que hemos hecho esta sección. Ya esta sección necesita un tiempito, ok, pero cualquier cosa, cualquier pregunta, y en particular lo que me estaba diciendo en ustedes, ahora quieren empezar a utilizar una línea con la Gravity. Es importante que tengan claro bien todas estas cosas. Si después será necesario, haremos otra charla, no hay un problema. Siempre estamos a su disposición. Pero es importante que la duda que tenían ahora la tienen clara.
Sí, Claudia, ahora nos explicaron el configurador, vamos a hacer las pruebas para los prototipos que vamos a hacer de etcétera. Yo creo que ahora que estamos hablando de todo, si sale alguna duda, les avisaremos.
Sí, después con Francesco, conmigo, ningún problema, estamos a su disposición para hacer estas cosas. Pero ves que al final el configurador no es menos complicado de lo que parece. Se trata que uno tenga claro la medida que tiene que poner, no puede poner medida muy rara, porque si no el configurador, como ustedes han visto, se bloquea, así que tienen que seguir paso por paso lo que el configurador le solicita. Después, por algunos de ustedes, el tema de los precios, en particular para los distribuidores, una vez que empiezan a utilizar que se han registrado, se podrá conectar directamente a los precios al configurador porque le podrá salir directamente la oferta final sin solicitar a luz ningún tipo de cotización. Mientras para los clientes normales pueden desarrollar su configuración y después los distribuidores de su propio país le podrán pasar toda la cotización que necesitan. Yo diría que si no tienen alguna pregunta específica podríamos cerrar acá esta primera sección.
Sí, de nuestro lado no tenemos ninguna pregunta.
Ok. Por lo demás, si tienen alguna duda específica, podemos responderles ahora. O si no, cerramos.
Francisca ha alzato la mano.
Dime, Francisca.
Hola, muy buenos días. Disculpen, había consultado en el chat interior por qué las medidas exteriores es de una medida y por qué el interior tiene otras dos medidas. ¿Por algún descuento en particular o porque el mecanismo lo configura solo? Lo entiendo, pero quiero saber cómo la razón por qué sale 500 y después sale 470.
Hai capito, Francesco? Possiamo andare a prendere un disegno? Il disegno? Perché stava dicendo perché una medida sale 470 e l'altra 500. Hai capito?
Parece que era en el Excedra 2.
No, questo è questo è l'Excedra, porque ustedes para no confundirse tienen que pensar que el Excedra Gravity entre los dos costados necesita siempre 55 milímetros. Con el Excedra 2 necesita 180 milímetros porque tiene que cerrarse y acoplarse dos puertas. Así que no pueden confundirse como configurador porque uno es 55 milímetros el Gravity e 180 l'Excedra 2. Francesco, metti il sonoro. Francesco, il microfono.
Al parecer son la diferencia de puertas de 52.5 y 47. A eso creo que se
Francesco,
refiere.
hai
Qui ho
capito quello
sbagliato
che
io.
Sì,
Sì,
no,
sì,
ha commesso
ho
un
sbagliato.
errore Francesco.
Allora, qui 25 e 470 perché il mio configuratore mi permette di fare le dimensioni diverse della porta, ma in realtà sono sempre tutte uguali. Dovrebbero
No, está
essere.
diciendo que su configurador le permite hacer también dimensiones diferentes de la puerta, pero en realidad serían todas iguales.
Ah no, scusa, ho capito adesso perché sono sciocco io. Essendo 2000, allora, la larghezza minima per un Excedra Smart, ok, the minimum width for Excedra Smart for the first door is 525, okay? The width of this door determines curves and how the mechanism works. To make 2000, okay, millimeter width, if we made all 525, it wouldn't work. So we have to keep this one at 525 and make these smaller. But just because we have a small measure here, if I go back here and I give it a little more width, total width, okay, sample 2.5 m. Okay, you see that now it can give all the same width. Okay, so if you go too small in width, it will try to compensate it by making smaller the central door, because the external door, they can be minimum 525 millimeter for it to work. But usually you have a little more than that. So.
Puoi fargli vedere il disegno? Sì.
Sì. Il disegno è qua. Mentre se if I go smaller, there's a point where it cannot maintain the door the same width. You see with 2 meters. If I go down to 2 meters, okay, this is the minimum for the external doors, and then it will compensate by making the central one smaller. This is done only because this is the minimum width for the curves to work. The width of the central doors, they do not impact any curves or profile, so that's why we can make them smaller. Okay, is it clear?
¿Entendido? Hola, Fra.
Okay.
¿Está claro la razón de la pregunta que tú me has hecho? ¿Verdad?
Sí, no hay problema. Gracias.
Okay.
Ok.
Perfect.
¿Otra pregunta o cerramos? Ok, Francesco.
Ok,
Parece
perfecto.
que no tiene ninguna otra pregunta. Y nada, cualquier cosa, repito, siempre estamos a su disposición. Importante que usted prueben el configurador, hagan y después le comentaremos un poco si tienen algún tipo de problema. Pero repito, es bastante sencillo el utilizo del configurador.
Muchas gracias, Claudio. Francesco.
No, dígame.
No problem. You're welcome.
Ok. Un saludo a todos.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Claudio, Francesco.
Chao.
Feliz tarde.
Gracias.